Hi, it's Kevin here from Music in Leicester, and this is the 11th in our series of podcasts where we talk to the people in Leicester's amazing music scene about what they've been getting up to and how the lockdown is affecting them, as we are now 13 weeks in. In today's podcast, we will have Luke from local indie grunge rockers with aliens band Ohana. But first up, we have Sue Lavender on the line, who co-owns the wonderful Soundhouse with lovely Martin the husband. I first spoke to Sue back in my first podcast back in April, so it'll be nice to get an update. So I'm chatting to her again just to see how things are looking now that we've got a few more certainties as far as the government's concerned. And to see what she thinks the future has in store. So hello there, Sue.
Hi Kevin, are you okay?
I'm more than okay today, thank you very much, and thank you for joining me on my little podcast again.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Now, when I last spoke to you, back in the sunny days of April, I remember Martin was on the phone in the garden while he was topping up his tan, and you took a break from your tan topping up to chat to me. Yeah. You both seemed quite happy, and the government's assistance seemed to be okay for you, as well as you were quite impressed by the Music Venue Trust's crowdfunding that they're doing.
Right.
But that was back then. But today, and I quote from the Music Venue Trust, I feel like we ought to have one of those dramatic drum beats that they do on the 6 o'clock news on the BBC. Bum, 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 bum. Quoting from the music...
I can tell you it needs it.
It does. So this is a quote I've just taken today from the Music Venue Trust right on their homepage. It says that the situation is now dire as far as music venues are concerned. Government support has been exhausted, and it now falls to artists, music fans, local communities and the wider industry to take action. Put bluntly, without these venues, the opportunities for artists and audiences to connect in a meaningful way at a local level will simply disappear. Now, Sue, is it really that bad?
Yes.
Crikey.
In a nutshell, yes it is.
Okay, so let's just start from the beginning. So, I mean, the latest easing of the lockdown is coming up in about a week's time, and it looks like pubs and stuff will be able to open up then. So is there no way that that's going to help you at all?
No, I mean, we've done the social distancing plans and things like that, and at 2 metres in our venue, we would have been allowed something like 5 people.
Oh, right. As opposed to how many? About 100 or so?
200.
200, blimey.
So obviously, it just isn't viable to open. But,
no.
Apparently you have to now have 6 to 9 metres in front of the stage, because singers are obviously throwing their voices, so they want more distance between singers.
Crikey, 6 to 9 metres, so that's way past your your sound desk then, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. And now, I mean, yes, it's everybody's saying it's a lot better now. The distancing rule is down to 1. But at that, we could still only really get 16 in our venue. But that's fine. But then if you have to put in staff, security for your toilets and things like that, people to make sure that people are social distancing, having your toilets monitored to make sure that they're not gathering in the toilets or whatever, you have to take that off of your actual people capacity.
Right.
So if you've got say 2 staff, a couple of security guys, there's 4 off your capacity to start with. You might have a sound engineer. Yeah,
so that's about halved the capacity then, pretty much, already.
But now as well, what they're saying is you can't have live music.
Oh, okay.
Music.
Any idea why that would be?
It spreads from voices. It's throwing your voices.
Right, of course, yeah, because I think, the louder you speak, isn't it, the more droplets come out.
You can't even have, apparently you can't even have recorded music now, because if you have, you've got to have it very, very low, if at all, because people have to shout louder to talk over it.
Right.
It might encourage people to sing to a song sometimes. Apparently you're not supposed to sell, they don't want you to sell more than 3 pints, because after selling 3 pints or drinking 3 pints, people tend to be a little bit more freer and wouldn't be doing the social distancing so much.
Right.
Because then you just become a bit happy, so, you know, if you get drunk, you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
It's now as well, you're thinking to yourself, how many people are going to actually come out, because you've got the track and trace. Which, looking at Facebook, people are saying, I don't want to give my details out. You know.
No, that's true.
I don't want the apps to go and order a pint or whatever. And as venue owners, if we do decide to open and have people in, we've got to have everybody's details.
Yeah, that's true. And they don't want
to take their details. And it's sounding like people don't really want to be doing it. And to be honest with you, Kev, if I went to a pub, I wouldn't want to be giving my details. No.
But if it meant going to the pub, if it meant you can't go to the pub unless you give your details, then, I mean...
Well, I think there's a lot of people out there that won't do that.
Yeah, I think you're right, unfortunately.
But not just that, I think there's a lot of people... I mean, the Music Venues Alliance has done a big survey on people, what people think about going back to venues. Would they go to gigs? When would they go to gigs? Would they feel happy in a venue? You know, and people are actually saying this. I think it was something like, there was only something like 24% that would actually go back on the 4th of July.
Right. Because they're just worried about their own health as well, I suppose.
Definitely, as far as the COVID's concerned. Okay. It's not just the track and trace and all your details. It's an accumulation of a lot of different things. And we have to hold all those details. I mean, that's against data protection, do you know what I mean? And I think that's what... I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
It's a minefield, and it's still not massively clear.
No.
At the Soundhouse, we could probably do a little bit more outside. We could get probably a few more people outside. We could probably use the side space, you know, where we normally park the cars and things like that. But... it's just if you can't put a live music on, or you can't have music, and then if it absolutely threw it down with rain, we wouldn't be able to take them inside.
No, that's true. Plus, as you say, you've got the extra staff costs of paying all the security guards and all the rest of that.
You'd have to have 3 security.
Crikey.
That's asking, you know, it's like one on the door when people come in taking details, stuff like that. Be one for the toilets, one going around to make sure that people are social distancing. Yeah,
and you know. And I guess you've got to use proper security men. You can't just use your own staff, your own bar staff that occasionally check it or anything like that. You've got to actually pay for proper staff, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
it is a bit of a minefield.
Yes, it sounds like it.
You know, I mean, people as well are looking to come and have a proper pint. People are talking about, you know, if they are going to the pub, they're looking forward to having a proper pint.
Yeah.
So it's a cost of restocking and stuff like that, which, you know, that's got to be done anyway. But, I mean, I've talked about, if we did it, probably not having the barrels on.
Right.
Because if you don't get the amount of people in, you're not going to be selling the beer.
And then it goes off.
Yeah.
And that's
so you've
awful.
got that problem.
Yes.
And you couldn't have...
That's true.
all the options that we normally have.
No.
You know, it's just a minefield.
Okay, well, Sue, let's have a musical break at the moment, and then we'll chat about it from a slightly different angle, perhaps, and hopefully perhaps see if there's some positivity out there, and we'll chat about that after the break.
Okay.
So here's Spineless by local punksters Jools.
The case was at least I hope it is, or I'll make my return on in peace. It's the same thing I always meet. Balotelli, Balotelli, Balotelli. And you see me on the telly, the telly, the telly. Silence on your life just to be a tyrant. Just a tyrant. Silence on your life just to be a tyrant. Just a tyrant. And now I'm approaching my of free speech. I was never taught how to make a great stain on spit in my face or weak. I'm on my knees, my knees. Silence on your life just to be a tyrant, just a tyrant. Silence on your life just to be a tyrant.
That was Jools and Spineless, and now I'm back to Sue Lavender from the Soundhouse. Hi Sue, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Great, on the other end of the phone. Well, the internet in this case.
Yeah, it's internet.
Anyway, of course, now Sue, of course, a number of venues are even worse off than yourselves. Duffy's Bar, for example, because I suppose they're a lot smaller, aren't they?
Yeah, we were talking to Matt Kirk the other day from Firebook, and he was saying that they're really struggling. I mean, they're not even going to be able to open with the meter at 1 metre.
Right, blimey.
So, because it is just so small and what's it in there, so...
Yeah.
And he's into a lease and got rent to pay, hasn't got any rent reduction, so he's screwed, really.
Yeah.
And you beg the question as to how far do you go?
Because he owns Duffy's and Firebug, doesn't he?
I think so, yeah.
So, but I gather he's refurbishing Firebug, is that correct?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we're doing a lot of that sort of work as well.
Oh, right.
I mean, it's... If anything, it is a massive opportunity to do something like that.
That's it, yeah. So there is a positive.
So it's also inherent cost, yeah, but it is a positive. I mean, we've just had new, the big doors at the back there, the loading doors, the fire doors. We've just had new doors there.
Excellent. You haven't got any more lights, have you, Sue?
Yes.
Oh no! What's he got?
Lights.
What's he got this time?
I think really what he's looking to do is we've got the really big, the old-fashioned type lights at the back.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it gets massively hot in there when they're on, and obviously they are. But he's changing them all for LEDs.
Ah, nice.
they're a lot cheaper to run for a start off.
That's true. And then you could strobe them then, flash them on and off really quickly, couldn't you, and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how that works, Kev. I'm not the lighting engineer, but
Okay.
we're hoping to put new seating in and stuff like that because that desperately needs doing.
Brilliant. I mean, they should call you you could be called either the Lighthouse or the Soundhouse because you pretty much excel in both departments, don't you?
But you need music to be able to work them. Kev.
You're quite right. So speaking of which, now the reason I was chatting about Duffy's is do you and the other venue owners, do you talk to each other about all this? I presume you do then by the sounds of it.
We try to. We've got a meeting tomorrow with promoters and things like that we've decided to put on, just have a chat with them, just to sort of let them know what's happening, really, just to reiterate to them where we are, and now that we can probably do it face-to-face, social distancing, of course.
Yeah.
And these are just the local promoters that we deal with, because we've got quite a lot of promoters on board with this now. So it's just nice.
Okay, well, that's
coming from Casbah Music.
That's good. And you've got a nice community going there. That's good.
The window.
Yeah, and you can all look out for each other as well.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Now talking about the Music Venue Trust, as we were doing earlier, I see they've written an open letter to the government.
Yes.
So that's from all the music venues or something.
We've got a crowdfunder going, obviously, and
right.
Most of the venues in Leicester have, but it is under the umbrella of the Music Venues Trust, which we are members of. I think there's something like 700 venues, 700 and something venues. They're all grassroots venues.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I've got to say that they have worked really hard. Mark David, the guy that does a lot of the meetings and things,
for the Music Venue
he looked quite
Trust.
well when he started, but he looks absolutely drawn at the minute. He has worked hard, and they have spoke to government.
Yeah.
So what we've done now is they've wrote the open letter. We filled a massive form in to prove to the government how we can work it with the meterage and the social distance, or how we can't work it.
Right. Does that maybe suggest the amendments that they need to make in order?
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
But not only that, we've had to in this form. It's all about all our financial details, what we aim to lose, what it's going to cost us to do all of this.
Right.
So they know exactly, and I think they've got pretty much most of the venues have done it all, haven't they?
Okay.
They've done a survey of. I think I spoke about this in the first half, where they've done a survey to find out how many people are going out or who want to go out and see gigs.
Right.
Whether it be now, October, or next year.
Yeah.
Just to find out where we are.
Yeah. I mean, over the course of time, they will relax some more of the lockdown rules, won't they? So hopefully they might eventually relax enough to get that's in your plan to get you going.
But we have no idea when. That's the trouble.
No.
And they don't seem to. We've had to write a letter to our MPs to get them involved as well. So all the venues have done that.
Right. Is that something the public can help with? So, like, people listen to this podcast, could they get stuck in doing stuff like that?
Yeah, they can, absolutely.
Right. So write a letter to your MP.
Write a letter to their MPs and just explain to them the predicament that the grassroots venues have.
Yeah.
I mean, without the grassroots venues, music's going to die, I think, because that's where you start. Everybody does.
Yeah, that's it.
No matter who you are.
No, exactly.
And it's not just about musicians, it's about promoters, it's about sound engineers. I mean, just look at all the people that work in the industry.
Yeah, and photographers and everybody else.
Everything.
As with a lot of these. Yeah.
You name it. I mean, if you sat... Yeah, podcast. If you sat and just sat and thought about it for 10 minutes and wrote a list, you'd be absolutely astounded.
Yeah.
What we want is a handout. So that we can actually stay closed but then reopen.
That's it. a little bit later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because once they're gone, they're gone.
That's it. But I mean, you've got. I see. I went into your fundraiser earlier to secure my personalised T-shirt and my free beer for life.
Well, I've got to say as well. I mean, we really haven't said a lot about the crowdfunder apart from the things that are going on to fund.
Yeah.
But I just would like to say to each and everybody out there that has donated that we're blown away, actually.
Yeah.
We're not the sort of people that go cap in hand, but we are blown away, absolutely.
I know, you got a lot.
Thank you very much.
And you've got nearly £8,000, I've noticed.
Yes, I know.
So how will that help, though? I mean, if presumably we might go for maybe another 2 or 3 months before things are relaxed enough for you to maybe start up in a minimised way. Would that £8,000 help to house that? How would that help? Would that help you tide you over or start you up?
It's helping to pay wages.
Right.
Obviously, we've still got Jack employed.
Because the furlough scheme's going to run out, isn't it? So you need to handle that. Yeah.
And that will run out. Yeah. It's rent because we still pay rent.
Right.
You still got to pay your utilities.
So it'll help tide you by then, I suppose, for a few months, won't it?
It's like insurance. We can't cancel insurance.
Oh, right. Yeah. So at least hopefully that money should help with that period, and then obviously when because you should be able to start at some point. I mean, I know, like you were saying earlier, when the singer's singing, a lot of moisture's coming out of his mouth. But, I mean, there's ways around that, aren't there? There's like visors. I know you can't have visors at the moment, but something like that on Perspex screen.
I think the biggest worry it would be is the people not coming out.
Yeah, because they're afraid. And that was
one of the big things that came to light in the music venues survey.
Right, okay. But for that to get better, I think figures will have to go down, won't they? Infection rates will have to go down and that sort of thing, because that's what I look at, so that's what everybody else will look at. But hopefully again in a couple of months' time, well, they will be coming down, because they are going down. Well, with the exception of today and yesterday. But they are generally on a downward trend. So again, hopefully that will just be a matter of time. So as long as you can all just hang in there, hopefully...
And all I can say, actually, Kevin, is when we do open, you will know about it.
Good. I should damn well hope so. I'll be able to hear you from my house, hear the bands going on.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so so there's still a bit of hope there, isn't there?
Still there's hope.
Yeah.
But it's just how long we can hang on. That's the thing. But,
and we all need to be banging our drums, making a noise about this. I mean, what annoys me a little bit is I've just recently had a look at, because I'm going to be watching Glastonbury for summer this weekend.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. And I noticed a lot of the charities that are their partners are nothing to do with music. Which they're all great charities, I'm sure, that really need the money, which is great. But I didn't see things like the music. Well, I didn't see any music-related charities in there. So people like that could perhaps be banging the drum a bit more. Need people to keep making a noise about it. Social media, get help with your crowdfunding. If anybody needs to know where the crowdfunders are or how to do it, they just need to look at Music in Leicester's page. We've got a list of all the crowdfunding sites there.
Just to get it out there, put your opinions out there,
That's right. Make people more aware of it. Anyway, Sue, we've got to sign off here.
Yeah, that's fine.
So thank you very much. And say any information people want, Music in Leicester, all the crowdfunding's in there. Just make a noise about it.
Absolutely.
And hopefully we will be seeing you in the not too distant future. So Sue, thank you very much for your little chat on the podcast.
It's always a pleasure to speak to you.
Likewise, and hopefully I shall see you soon. So now we're going to have another musical break with Siobhan, Mazzei and I'm Not Scared.
to lose myself in your eyes, and the world is so as cold as the night, wanna hold you. I see truth, I see tears in your lies. I'll break through to black and white. The silence kills before the fight. My bark in your bite. A diamond rough that was never enough. Turned to dust, then ground and crushed. Hearts erased at a single touch. I am the name you cry too My blood runs dry, my head is through your side of us, your side of you.
That was I'm Not Scared by Siobhan and Mazzei. I now have with me on the other end of the phone young Luke from young indie grunge band Ohana. Hi Luke, how are you doing?
Hi Kevin, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm awesome, and thank you very, very, very much for joining me on my little podcast today.
No worries.
Excellent. I'll just turn your volume up. You've gone a little bit quiet. Yeah, okay, great. So, Ohana, just a little bit of background information. Now, I think, am I right in thinking you're quite a young band? Because I saw you first in the Soundhouse in 2018. Is that about when you started?
Yeah, that was when we first started gigging. I think the band as a concept had existed for a while, but I think I'm actually the newest member of the band. The guys have been, just struggling to find people basically for a little bit.
Oh, right, okay.
But yeah, so we got rocking around 2018, and yeah, it's been awesome since.
Brilliant. Well, what I was going to say, what has your journey been like then in the last couple of years? What's the highs and lows?
Well, it's been, to be honest, it's been mainly highs. I think for me, I'm the old boy of the bunch.
Oh yeah, crikey!
The ripe old age of 24.
Oh my god!
So this is actually my first band, so I've absolutely loved it. It's just been amazing to get out and play live and have that experience, really, and writing songs for the boys. It's brilliant.
So you're the main songwriter as well as you play guitar and you sing as well, don't you?
Yeah, I mean we all contribute to the songwriting. I think on the latest few has been my contribution, but I mean, the first EP we did was none of my contribution, so it's really varied.
Oh, okay, all right. Luke, I recently discovered that Ohana, the name of your wonderful band, means family. Is that how you see yourself and your fans? Because I think it's rather a nice notion.
Yeah, that was Jack, actually, our drummer. He was really he's sort of the founding member of the band, and he really wanted it to be like an all-inclusive, no egos here kind of deal. So yeah, it's we're all a family. We all, a gig isn't a gig without the fans, and it isn't a gig without the band. It's like everyone makes it what it is.
That's true.
We're having a good time together.
So you consider your fans to be part of the family?
Yeah, and it's awesome. Like you can't. I never thought I'd even experience even a small time band like ourselves. Having people come up and say, like, "Oh, that was really." You almost don't even know how to react, and people, giving praise and seeing people moving and having a good time to your music. Can't really beat it, to be honest.
Absolutely. Whenever I've seen you play a few times now. You always seem to have aliens on the stage. What's that all about then?
That's another Jack special.
Oh, right. Is his name Ned or something?
Ned. Yeah. Yeah. It's. I'm not. To be honest, this kind of came about before my joining the band, but I think it's just. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just, we're Ohana and we like aliens, so they make up our sort of stage, and a lot of our art direction is involving aliens and colourful patterns and that kind of thing. So it's just us, really.
Okay.
Just a bunch of weirdos.
Oh, okay. Have you ever actually met an alien, Luke?
I wish I could say yes, but no. Okay. No, I was once abducted.
I must. All right. Okay.
No, I wasn't.
I must admit, it's quite fun because do you actually, because you've got your blow up alien, do you actually chuck him out into the crowd so that you can play around with him while you're performing?
Yeah. I feel a bit sorry. We should probably start an ending show with no real aliens were harmed in the carrying out of our performance.
That's true.
We used to get volleyed out into the crowd and stuff, and people actually really enjoy it. We've had people bonking each other on the heads with them and throwing them about, drawing on them.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great thing. It's really good fun. Okay, Lou, let's have a musical break now. So let's play one of your songs. If you'd like to tell us a little, it's your last single, which we reviewed in Music in Leicester by the wonderful Cassius Povey. If you'd like to tell us a little bit about this song and introduce it for us.
So this next song is called Too Good For Me. It's our latest single we recorded in Yorkshire in the Sound Audio. It's a nice little bluesy rock riff, so I hope you guys enjoy it.
And what's it about, though?
Oh, it's about a girl who is too good for me.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
Do you know her? Have you spoken to her about it, or is she?
Yeah, I do. She's my girlfriend.
Oh, right. Nice one. Okay. Sorry, I've ruined your introduction there. So you were going to say, and the song is "Too Good for Me" by Ohana.
too good for me. She's too good for me. She's too good for me. She's too good for me.
So that was Too Good For Me by Ohana, and I still have with me frontman and highly energetic Luke on the other end of the phone. Luke. Hello. Luke, each performance must just about kill you with all the running around you do. It must be quite a skill playing guitar, singing and running around like a madman. Does it take a lot of practice?
Well, you know, we all run around doing skateboarding and stuff as our hobby as well, so we're used to throwing ourselves about a bit. So.
Okay.
So yeah, I need to start warming up now, I think. I'm getting old.
Getting old at 24, yeah, you poor thing, my heart bleeds for you. So, Luke, now tell me, we're currently experiencing the lockdown. Have you been up to anything musically during the lockdown?
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of writing, to be honest, as a band. We've been sharing digitally sharing riffs with each other and ideas and.
How do you do that? How do you do that then? Share a riff with each other, I suppose.
We all do it differently, to be honest. Sometimes it's just as crude as a voice message on. We've got like a band group chat, so we just record a quick. Voice recording, quote unquote, because it's not a guitar usually,
right.
or bass or something, and ping that in there. Or we like making little demos as well.
Right.
So, we can collab on the demos because all the digital software now. It's crazy what you can achieve. Just you don't even need to be in the same room as one another. You can just compile it all on a audio software kind of thing.
So, are you writing anything new you want to tell us about?
We're sort of, to be honest, we're stockpiling ideas at this moment in time because we've got so many songs we need to get recorded that are already done.
Right.
We're just creating more of a workload for ourselves. But we're sort of stockpiling for maybe a subsequent EP. But we're also currently working on what the previous single was from, is our upcoming EP. Got 2 songs left to record on that one, which we're doing in late July.
Excellent. And do you still hope to do it in late July?
Yeah, the lockdown easing in place. It's going to be a bit tricky, but the studio that we go to in Yorkshire, they're allowing 2 band members in the building at any one time to record your part, so it's going to be a bit of a musical chairs of audio recording. But it'll be fun.
Okay, brilliant. And how many songs are going to be on your new EP?
That's the question, isn't it? 5 or 6.
Oh, excellent. So it's more of an LP. It's just that I'm a bit old school. I prefer more of an LP than an EP, because then you have to keep buying lots of little EPs, whereas I'd rather have it all on the one LP. But you're halfway between an EP and an LP, really, aren't you? Yeah,
it's definitely a longer one.
Yeah.
I think LPs are kind of the way we're wanting to go. Although it seems like in the world of digital streaming and everything, everyone just wants to release lots and lots of singles, so that's something we've not tried before. We just sort of release 1 or 2 and then, put the whole EP out, whereas now we're just kind of going to, release them as and when we've got them, just to, keep giving people, the content. Keep our listeners engaged.
That's it, yeah. Okay, I suppose that's a good thing to do. Being a young band, you need to keep it all, keep producing new stuff as much as you can. Okay, so now, unfortunately, as I said at the beginning of the the podcast, the lockdown is really starting to hurt some of the venues now, because they're still having their expenses to pay. They've still got to pay the rent, etc., even although they are actually closed, not making any income. So it's starting to become a real possibility that we may lose venues like the Musician, the Soundhouse, maybe even the Shed, the Donkey. What do you think the place would be like, or would there be a scene, or how do you think bands like you, how would that affect you, do you think? Would you be here without them?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? The Shed and the Soundhouse were our first, they gave us our first gigs.
So if they didn't exist, where would your first gigs be? How would you perform as a band?
I mean, not even our first gigs, but some of our best gigs have been at the Shed. And I mean, we haven't played the Musician or the Donkey, so I can't speak for them, but definitely Shed and the Soundhouse have kind of been our home for playing gigs, and Jack at the Soundhouse has sorted us loads of really cool support slots, and Tom at the Shed, doing the same. We did a Battle of the Bands at the Shed as well. These are fond memories. So to lose a venue like that would be devastating on a personal level. And never mind, for the scene. There's so many cool, interesting bands coming up. And if they've got no one, there's other great venues in Leicester, like, the O2 and the Cookie, but the amount of sort of higher profile bands they've got, they just haven't got the time. They don't give the smallest bands, who are just starting, this is where they get their chance, you know what I mean? To get out there is the more independent
that's right,
venues. So, I can only thank the Soundhouse and the Shed for what they've done for us, and hopefully we can get some gigs when this is all going, and just keep supporting them as much as we can.
So really, I suppose, obviously, those venues are hurting in Leicester, but we must be just like any other town and city around the country, so their venues must all be getting affected in the same way. Yeah. So it would be a pretty bleak country in general if they didn't survive. I gather the governments in different countries are supporting their venues, so hopefully our government will support ours a bit more. I think the Music Venue Trust are writing a letter to the government as we speak.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they do need a lot of. I mean, the government's plan seems to be a one size fits all kind of approach. It's probably for the amount of time they've had to make it, probably the best way. But it's obviously for music venues, it's not quite enough.
No.
To help them at the moment. So especially
the small ones. I think it's like with all these things, it's the small people that are falling through the gaps.
I did actually watch Boris's his live House of Commons announcement yesterday, and he did say, I mean, obviously being a pistach, he mentioned theatres, but I'm sure that means venues. They're looking at getting. I think now that things are opening up more, they're applying a more tailored approach.
Yes.
Well, that's the gist that I got from his announcement yesterday. So I'm hoping that's going to be good news for the local venues and small businesses alike.
Yes, I think you're right. Hopefully, anyway. Okay, so that's quite interesting. So, Luke, tell me, have you got, apart from your EP, you've got your EP to be released, have you got any more plans for the future?
Yeah, we've got one little cool thing we've got going on with our friends in Son of Glen, another local Leicester-born band.
I know them. They only seem to come round to Leicester about once a year, don't they? In the holidays or something.
Yeah, I think it's the logistical complications. Their frontman Josh, he's actually a teacher in China.
That was it. Yes.
So it's a bit of a tricky one, but they still, when they can, they're still playing. They're still awesome. So we're sort of collaborating with them on a little lockdown project. I don't want to give too much away, but I think it's going to be quite cool. And I think actually they've got Switchdown another local band. Who are awesome. I've seen them a few times as well. They're getting involved with it as well, so I think it'd be a cool little project. And we're still deciding on exactly how it's all working. So I actually can't give too much away because I don't know.
Okay, that sounds interesting. How can we find out more about it and keep up to date with it?
So we're sort of we're all posting. I think Instagram is sort of the main sort of route we're promoting it.
Right.
But yeah, so keep your eyes peeled on our social medias, and we'll be letting everyone know as soon as we can about this.
Okay, you're quite easy to find on Instagram, are you? Ohana.
Yeah, it's Ohana Band UK. You type that all in, it actually comes up with the band and then all the individual members as well. So just in case the band doesn't come up for whatever reason, you catch one of us.
Yeah, or a little spaceman or something.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds great, Luke. All right then, Luke. Well, thanks very much for chatting to us today. Let's play you out with one of your new songs, if you'd like to tell us a bit about it and introduce it for us.
Yeah, so this next one's called Not My Cup of Tea. It's about someone who will not be named, who just really, coining the British term, was not my cup of tea. This one's not out yet though, so this is an exclusive on the podcast. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you've seen us live, this is the one we always end on, so you might remember it. So I usually go crazy, end on the floor somewhere. It's my favourite one to play. So yeah, hope everyone enjoys it.
Excellent. Here's Not My Cup of Tea by Ohana. Thank you very much, Luke.
Am I safe to pick?